Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Posted Up with Chris Haynes podcast. Before I introduce my guest, this is going to be my first guest to start off the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy 2022. This has been a rough couple of years for us, so hopefully we can all turn the corner this year in society with this pandemic that's still ongoing. But anyways, with that being said, my guest right here, this is a guy who's been producing and flourishing and getting better each season he's been in the league. I'm just going to introduce him. Portland Trailblazers forward, Nassir Little. Nas, people go, I pronounce it Nassir Little. Most people, I hear them saying Nasir, and tell me the proper way to pronounce your first name.
You pronounced it correctly, Nassir.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pronounced Nassir. If you, casually, people say Nassir, which is cool as well, but formally it's pronounced Nassir. Yeah.
Okay. Does that get on your nerves when people pronounce it a different way?
Nas is the nickname, but yeah, if you can't say Nassir, you know what I'm saying? That's annoying. And I do a good job of correcting people if I hear it, but
oh, you'll let people know right there on the spot?
Yeah, just because I would want somebody to let me know if I'm not saying their name right. Sure. So I do the same to them. So
no, for sure. And first of all, thank you for taking it right now as we're recording. This is Saturday morning, New Year morning. You were in LA last night. What time y'all get back home?
We touched down at 2 a.m. I got home around 3 a.m. Went to bed at 4. Had to wake up, take care of some stuff. So, yeah, I'm good though.
How was the holidays for you, family? Were you able to hang with family?
I was a little bit. It was a little bit weird. One of my siblings had tested positive for COVID.
Sorry to hear that.
On her arrival to Portland, so I didn't really get to connect with her the way that we usually do. You know what I'm saying? She was kind of the outlier in the house. So, but it was still good to see him, though. We traveling a lot. Don't really get to see my family often. So, nonetheless, I was still grateful for the time I got to spend with him.
That's good. I'm sorry to hear that. Is she doing okay?
Yeah, she's good. She good.
Okay.
It was pretty. She wasn't really symptomatic, so she was cool.
All right, that's good. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Nas, you've been, like I said, you've been. There hasn't been a lot of good things that come out of Portland probably in the last. I'm just talking about news. Probably in the last.
Right.
I'll just say this year.
It's been a tough year for sure. It's been a tough one for the Blazer fans.
Man, it's been, but you've been one of the lone bright spots of the season. Somebody, tell me about your game. I want to ask a question, but I'm going to ask this first. Tell me about your game. Most players, when they're coming up playing, they model it after anybody. Did you do that? It's just tell me, if you had to describe your game, who does it compare to? And just give me a description of your game in its totality.
To me, growing up, in order to try, the players that I tried to be I don't play like them right now. Because I try to be like the best, you know what I'm saying? So I'm modeling, trying to see what Bron does, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant. And I'm not that kind of player yet, but those are the guys that, I strive to be as successful as, and I think that's what your mindset got to be in order to ever eventually reach that level. But I think currently, I hear a lot of comparisons about Gerald Wallace, Jerome Kersey, energy guys making plays, things like that. And I think I do a good job of that. I think I'm a bit more skilled than I get credit for. Mm-hmm. But I think as I become more consistent and showing that, that'll eventually just become, part of my game. But yeah, man, I don't know. Right now, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a current player. I feel like I hear a lot of Jerome Kersey. I feel like that's what I hear the most.
Yeah.
I don't really know, but that's what I hear the most.
Yeah, that's because you're in Portland. But I would say this. Crash definitely Gerald Wallace, because people that's not familiar with your game, you're one of the best offensive rebounders in the game, period. Like you crash and then you're diving for loose balls, like you're getting dirty. But
Right.
so that's who I feel you're familiar with. But there's a player, and this is a superstar player. And I'm not, listen, everybody, I'm not saying Nas is going to get to that guy, but your path, like the way you're shooting up and getting better, this player I'm about to mention, similar. He's still like, he played a little bit more than you and produced a little bit more than you early on, but he wasn't given the keys early on. It was like a slow progression, and that is Kawhi Leonard. And again, I'm not saying, but you get the point that I'm making.
That's definitely to me, like when I envision myself like as my best version of Nassir, like that's what, I would see, what I'm saying, be a Kawhi type player, you know what I'm saying? And like to your point, I'm not saying, what I'm saying, how people, I ain't trying to say I'm Kawhi.
Yeah, you got to always say that first, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like I do see myself being that type of what he brings to the table, you know what I'm saying, in regards to being a two-way player, mid-range game, like just being versatile, like that's kind of what I see. So I agree with you on that.
So you were drafted a couple years ago, 25th pick, I believe.
Yeah.
Tell me about your rookie season, because you're coming into a team that's they have aspirations to win the championship.
Yeah.
Take me back through those early years, the first year or the second. Like, what was the frustration level? A lot of players that, they obviously get frustrated. You come from North Carolina, McDonald's All-American. And so, you got goals, lofty goals of yourself. Walk me through, if it was difficult, walk me through just how those first couple of years were for you as a pro.
For me, I mean, it was tough. We had my rookie year, we had a lot of injuries, and I actually ended up playing. I was playing my rookie year like early on, like in the season. I remember I had started like the 7th game of the season, my rookie year, and I was playing. Especially, I was playing a lot compared to what most rookies were getting in Portland. So my rookie year, I was getting a little bit of a taste, but it wasn't consistent. And as guys came back, I was out of rotation. It was a lot of ups and downs, and it was frustrating. And I think what was frustrating to me was I was always kind of like in this middle spot. Like I was never like I was never completely all the way like out. Like, yeah, there was games where I wouldn't get in, but some games I wouldn't get in, and some games I would get in. Like I just didn't know, like, what I'm saying? I didn't really know where, like, what I was to the team. Like, what I'm saying? Like, it was hard for me because I was like, I didn't know how to focus or what to focus on, because I was like, am I just supposed to be developing, or do they need me to contribute now? Like this game I played 30 minutes and the next game I played 0 minutes. Like, I don't know. It's hard to figure out what what they want from you in a situation like that. And I think that was my frustration the first 2 years. Even last year, it was like one game I'm playing a lot, next game is like, I don't know. It's hard for anybody to do that. And I feel like that was more frustrating than me either not playing at all. Like I would rather just, if I ain't gonna play, learn as much as I can, develop, work on my game, and obviously get the late game minutes, whatever the case is, than kind of being like that middle ground to where it's like I'm contributing, but it's just like, it was a really confusing spot for me. So I think that was my biggest frustration. But to your point, I feel like I was humbled in college. Like my ultimate, like, what the heck is going on moment happened before I got to the NBA. And as hard as it was for me back then, I feel like it helped me a lot.
Tell me about that, now. Tell me about that. Tell me about that experience in college.
Yeah, like your point, like, coming into college, I was one of the top, recruits, and, going to North Carolina, we had a really good team. And for whatever the case was, like, they just didn't think that, I was I don't know. I guess they didn't think I was as good as they thought I was going to be, or, whatever the case may be, or they thought other guys was deserving of, their situation. So it just was a situation where I kind of had to get the short end of the stick, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I was playing a little bit out of position. So it was a lot of learning that I had to do. I had a lot of stuff to learn. Like, I'm not saying that I came into college knowing everything, but I did have stuff I had to learn. But it was just tough, trying to figure out what they wanted from me, trying to adjust to the college level, trying to just navigate everything. I think I persevered through it, and I think I produced as well as I could with the opportunity that I was given, and I think that kind of helped me come into the NBA.
So, and that's interesting that you say that, Nas, because you left after 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like usually guys who leave after their freshman season, they're coming off of just a phenomenal freshman year. Was there, what made you? Because you talked about, you not playing out of position, power forward spot, and not really getting to showcase yourself that a lot of McDonald's All-Americans do when they go to a top program like that.
Right.
Were you nervous about leaving that early, being that you didn't get to show all of your skill set?
I wasn't nervous because when you look at my season at North Carolina, I was averaging virtually 10 and 5 in 18 minutes a game. Like, when that's as a freshman, like that's not common, you know what I'm saying? And I was looking at it as a matter of, like, we had a veteran team, like we were really good. I was on a winning team. I know how to win. I played winning basketball. Like, I felt like beyond the statistics, like through as much adversity as I went through my freshman year, like I feel like I showed a lot more than what I didn't show. Like, okay, yeah, he didn't get to showcase everything he wanted to, but he showcased that. Because in the NBA, he may not be the star guy. So how can he affect the game in these type of roles and situations? And I felt like that's what I showcased. And I feel like I just had intangibles that you can't really, just the collection of everything from size, athleticism, skill set. And, like, I just work hard, man. Like, I feel like that's something that a lot of teams can count on. Like, I'm going to get better each and every year. So, like, and I just felt confident in that, man. And I felt like me going early would give me the best shot of having the best NBA career I could have, because I feel like I'm 21 right now, and I feel like me being in my third year as a 21-year-old is better than me being a 3-year college guy coming into his rookie year at 21. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of my mindset going into that. And, I was willing to let the cards fall where they may in that regard.
Yeah, obviously you made the right choice. But yeah, to your point about 21-year-old college player opposed to a 21-year-old third-year player, we know that your stock starts to drop.
Right.
I will say this: I am happy. I've seen over the last couple of years, I've seen seniors that are being drafted in the first round. And,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's starting
that's
to become,
yeah, it started a little bit. I think Duarte over there in Indiana, I believe he's like 23.
Yeah.
And first round pick. Bez in Memphis, a senior as well, first round pick.
My teammate Cameron Johnson, 11th pick.
That's right, Cam. That's right. And look what he's doing.
Man,
Yeah, look what.
senior, so
Oh, that's right. Oh, he was a fifth-year senior.
Yeah.
Wow.
Grad transfer. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's showing right there. So tell me about what's gotten to you. Told me about the first 2 years. Oh, sorry. One more college question. Being that you were this highly coveted high school recruit, McDonald's All-American player, how did you, because you said that was your humbling experience in college.
Yeah.
Most players that I know, McDonald's All-American, when they're going in there and they're not playing, they can't handle it and they fold. What stopped you from, obviously it wasn't ideal, that you had to go through. What stopped you from folding? Because you've been given everything your whole life. You're the number one guy, your whole life.
I think like what you said right there, like by the time I became a highly coveted player, it was later in my high school career. Like my freshman, sophomore year, like I was making a little buzz, but I wasn't really no national household name like that. Obviously in middle school, I wasn't playing like on no high level team. So by the time I got to, people started to know me and being ranked and all that type of stuff, the foundation of me as a person was set. Like I wasn't everything that I got, like I had to really get it out the mud. Like I wasn't getting recognized for anything I was doing. Previously, like I had to just grind it out, you know what I'm saying? And I was in similar situations in high school, whether the coach was, just saying really like didn't think I was that guy. Like I feel like I was always getting like these short end of the sticks for no reason, for whatever reason the case was. And I was just tailored for it. Like by the time I got to college, like, once I realized, what the situation was and that it was going to be a challenge, I just embraced it like I had done, continuously throughout my high school career before I had even gotten there. So it was partially that. It was partially just my support system. You know what I'm saying? My parents, they were just there for me, man. Like I never, as tough as it was. And, I think one of the toughest things is just blocking out the noise, man. Like you hearing, oh, like this dude, he not like that. He a bust. He trash, stock going like that. You hear all that. You 18 years old, you like, you know what I'm saying? That your dreams is right there and you kind of feel like you're slipping away from it. Like it's a tough thing to kind of go through. But my support system was strong. And like I said, like I just was battling through it, man. I just didn't want to quit. Like I felt like if I were to just give up, that would be harder than trying to push through it. So I just kind of had that mindset and I just kept going, man. So it was tough, but I just kept doing it.
Again, we're here with Portland Trailblazers wing, Nassir Little, on the Posted Up with Chris Haynes podcast. Nassir, you got a new coach this year, and the things you were going through in the first couple of years, that was with Terry Stotts, who was let go after last season. Did you know you were going to have an expanded role coming into this year? Did you and Coach Billups have a talk, or was this something that just came on the fly?
It was more so of, I think like just consistently, even after my first year, after my second year, like I was seeing it how I was getting better, and I knew I was gonna have an expanded role because I was gonna earn it. You get what I'm saying? Like I knew that the work that I was putting was gonna warrant for an expanded role. Like I was gonna have to force somebody's hand. You know what I'm saying? To where, because I felt like even last year with Terry, like, because I feel like Terry wanted to play me, but it was the way the team was set up. It was kind of tough. You know what I'm saying? So my mindset was like, I'm gonna continue, and I feel like I genuinely feel like with Terry, he wanted to play me more. I genuinely feel that way, but like it was just kind of tough, and I kind of understood it. You know what I'm saying? But as a player, like I'm gonna force the coach's hand. Like I'm gonna try to get better, be as productive as I can. And you know what I'm saying, and whatever happens, happens. And I knew like the way the team was looking, like I saw some of the moves that we had made after the season. We had lost Derrick Jones. We had traded Rodney Hood and Gary Trent. Like just the way the dynamic of our team was going was like, okay, like this gonna be the situation where I got to be ready to play. You know what I'm saying? I got to be ready to contribute, and I knew that coming in. So, obviously the summer I was working hard, and I had practice with the summer league team, during July or early August. And like, as I was playing with them, like, I just kind of knew, I was like, okay, like, and Chauncey, the whole coaching staff kind of saw like what I was on and was like, okay, he gonna be ready to play. And really after that week of practice, me and Chauncey had a conversation, and he was like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying, this gonna be a year to you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have to step up this year. So I took that challenge, and I think I've done well with it so far.
So to give people context, you doubled your point production and your rebounding production in your third season here, averaging over 8 points a game, close to 6 rebounds a game for the season. That's double what you did last year, any other year for that matter. You're a couple of games removed from a 20-point game, 10 rebound performance, and defensively, you were doing, again, you were a two-way player. Can you Tell me about how does that feel? Because right now you're not in a position to put up numbers like that nightly because it's not your team. So you got to
Right.
fit in wherever. But tell me what it's like when you finally break through and have one of those games when the time is for you.
Yeah, it's just very just like, I feel like I've had flashes and moments of it, you know what I'm saying? Especially second year, a couple games this year.
You had a career high
Uh,
30 last year,
yeah.
right?
I had 30 last year. I remember we played Phoenix my second year. I had like 18 in the fourth. Um, Golden State this year at 18 first. Like it's been games where it's like, okay, he can showcase that when given, certain chances, opportunities, he can get to it if need be. But, it feels good, but what I'm saying, it's not really like nothing that like I don't feel like I get too involved about the whole scoring thing, like to your point, because like you said, like game in to game out, like I don't really, the
Yeah.
shots really vary. You know what I'm saying? Like there's games where I shoot 3 times, there's games I shoot 15 times. Like you got, what I'm saying? So like I feel like what I pride myself on is like hit these boards, like rebound, play defense, bring energy. Like that type of stuff is where I feel like it'll be harder for me to have bad games. When you get into the misses and the makes, you know what I'm saying, it can get easy to be like, all right, I shot 3 times, bet tough one tonight. But as I'm playing these games, I'm like, damn, I only got a rebound today. Like, that ain't it. Like, that's kind of how I look at it. Or I ain't get a block today. I ain't get a steal. Like, I ain't get, like, that's just kind of how I look at the game. And it allows me to affect it in so many more ways than just scoring the ball because we got a lot of time to score. So, like, and it allows me to bring a sense of consistency on, in some dynamic of the game. So that's just kind of how I look at it. That kind of allows me to always stay motivated, stay encouraged, stay involved, no matter how the game's going.
Okay. Now I got to put you on the spot here. So, you know about how there's narratives out there. There's fan bases calling for a certain thing. So whether you know or not, I'm pretty sure you know, but I'm gonna let you know. Most Blazer fans want you starting. They want you start. Most Blazer fans, when I look at social media and I see what they say and all that, and obviously you look at the starting lineup there,
Right.
small. Starts off small before you get to Nurk. And so the addition of you in that lineup definitely adds versatility, adds a
Mm-hmm.
bigger presence there, right there. And I found it curious that you said Terry Stotts wanted to play you, but due to it's out of his hands. And I think what you meant right there was obviously CJ is a proven player, and they just gave Norm he was going to get paid, and so
Yeah.
it was tough. And so why did you feel? Because it seems like you're still in that same predicament now. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so it's like, so with that being said, how do you you want to be a star? You are a starting caliber player. Is that what you want? I gotta ask you. Is that what you want moving forward? Do you feel like you've shown enough to say, man, look, I'm that starting small forward. I balance the floor. I can handle the other wings.
Mm-hmm.
That's 6'6", 6'7", and things like that. Like
Yeah.
how are you handling this? How are you coping with this? What do you want? Do you want that spot right now?
Yeah. Like, honestly, like, I think, like anybody, like, I do want to start, you know what I'm saying? I want to be a bigger piece in winning, you know what I'm saying? And that's just the type of person I am. Like, and when I envision myself, like, at my best, like, I envision myself as a starting wing in the NBA, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. But in regards to our team right now, like, I'm keeping it a stack. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who am I? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see it right now, like, with the dynamic of our team. Like, you got established guys and Dame, CJ, Norm. Like, I honestly don't really see, like, I don't see any one of those guys coming off the bench. So, like, that's just me being honest. So, it's kind of just what it is right now. I'm in my third year. I still got a long way to go in regards to being my best self. But, those guys are established players. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're going to get from them every night. They got the ability to rec up a game plan. So I'm just kind of the dynamic of the team right now. But, ultimately I do eventually, feel like I'm going to be rewarded with a starting position one day. As long as I just continue to just kind of do what I'm doing and keep improving my game.
You answer that like a pro now, so I respect that. But I do got to counter with this. And so, as you said, like you don't see a situation where CJ and Norm will come off the bench. Those are guys that the organization have given a lot of resources to financially. So you understand that. So do you feel like you're in a situation where, especially this year, not to say it's bad, but do you feel like other teams, other players, if their performance shows in practice or in games, they get rewarded, whether it was more playing time or a starting spot. So you don't feel like whatever you do right now, just the way the team is constructed, you feel like you're pretty stuck in how much you can be rewarded. Is that safe to say?
I feel like, in the league, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like, I don't want to say no matter what I do, I'm not going to start. Like, I feel like if I came out here averaging 30, like I probably, they might have to make a shift. But, it's pretty like, it's pretty when they got their guys, like, when they create these teams and they have these game plans, like coaches come in kind of having an idea of how things are going to go. And, when the coach commits to something, they want to kind of, right, like the toughest thing to me is figuring out, like as a coach or organizations, figuring out when to try something different. You know what I'm saying? It's like that balance of giving it time to grow and develop, and then being like, okay, figuring out at what's the right time to be like, all right, this ain't all the way it. Let's try this. And I think that's kind of like the situations I've been in is like, we have these guys coming in that, that we're gonna rock with. And and I'm behind it, you know what I'm saying? If that's what we're gonna do, like whatever the team wants to do, like that's what I'm behind. You get what I'm saying? But I feel like it's tough because it's like, even if I were to be doing, very well, like what would it look like for me? Like CJ has however many years of playing well, Norm has however many years of playing well. Like, I've had a good season so far, but it's like, does that warrant taking away something that they've earned themselves? And I don't think that's, I think if I was in my 8th year, I would want that same respect where I have years of this type of stuff on my resume. I've earned that right to, even if I ain't, even if we losing or even if I ain't playing the best, like to be allowed to play through that. And I think those guys have earned that right. And I'm still trying to earn mine.
No, that's a hell of a response right there. Hell of a response. That's a mature response. You remind me of your teammate, your point guard. So I spoke with Damian Lillard before you came on. I was like, tell me something about your guy, because you saw the clip. He complimented you well, said that like you bring something to the team that nobody else brings. That hustle, that determination, crashing boards, that heart. Nobody can do that but you on the team. And so I said, tell me, is there anything I need to know, anything I can bring up to him? He was like, man, ask him what it was like when we first met. And I was like, what you mean? So he told me the story. He told me the story. So I don't know if I should tell it or you should tell it, but go ahead and I guess tell me about. So he said, I'll say this, I'll let you finish. But he said he had just signed his extension. He has just signed, so it's 2019, just signed his extension, and you were there. He met you in the hallway. He went to go say what's up. So go ahead. You can take it.
Well, it was funny because we was talking about this the other day, because we had the 10-day guys coming in, and they kind of had that moment that I had when I had first met him. And virtually it was summer league, and I was just casually walking through the lobby at the hotel, and I saw him, and I was just like, bro, I just had a moment. I was just like, I was starstruck, bro. Like, I just was like, I didn't know what to say. I was like, I was like, I didn't know what to say, bro. I was getting all nervous, and I was like, well, like I was just trying to hurry. Like we were talking, and I was talking all fast. I was trying to get away. Like it was.
Nah, he said, yeah, he went to go like introduce himself to you, be like, congratulations, looking forward to it. And he said, you
Yeah,
said something quick and you was gone. He said he was still
yeah,
trying to talk to you. He said you just took off.
man. It's Dame he's a very humble guy, and sometimes you as humble as he is, he forgets like the impact that he has on players, bro. Like I was literally wearing this dude's shoe in high school. Like he don't really understand. Like I was wearing his shoe every game in high school. It's like now, like we're teammates. Like it's so like weird. Like it's just a weird feeling. It's like you watch this guy on TV do all this amazing stuff, like do all this crazy stuff. Like I'm wearing his shoes, I'm wearing his stuff. Like I'm watching him. I got posters. I was literally working out in his shoes like before the draft. Like, and now it's like you're my teammate. You feel me? It was just weird. Like I didn't know what to say. I didn't know. Like I'm like he probably think like I don't know. I'm like I wonder what he think about me. Do he think I'm good? Do he think I'm trash? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a lot of stuff that goes through your head. But it was a little starstruck moment for me. But it was definitely it's dope. It's definitely cool to see how our relationship has developed from that first time to now, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Instead of fumbling on your words, which you felt you probably were going to do, you said, I'm abort. Bye,
Yeah.
Dame. Bye. Peace out there.
Like instead of being weird and being awkward, I'm gonna just head out, bro. Like I'm gonna let you enjoy your day, man. I'm gonna just let y'all go. I ain't trying to get made fun of, bro. Like I'm gonna just get out of here, man. Get out your hair, man. Let y'all rock out.
Yeah, he got bad respect for you, man. So tell me. So now, real quick, a couple more, man, and I'll get you out, man. Like, what has this season been like for you, just with the COVID protocols and you seeing guys in and out? Like, this is the way I look at it,
Yeah.
and because you may have a different perspective, but the Lakers championship, the one they won, that was your rookie year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your first year was the bubble season, huh?
Yeah.
That's
It's
right.
weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I just thought about that. That's right. So the Lakers, they get a lot of flack for, like, people don't respect that title. That's the bubble title. It wasn't the normal circumstances. And
Right.
I think that's unfair because everybody had to play under those circumstances.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But this year right here, Nas, where teams got 6-7 guys, and this I swear this season looks like I remember when NBA Live. You're probably too young to know what NBA Live was, but NBA Live was the basketball game before NBA 2K.
On NBA Live.
You was on NBA Live? Okay.
I was active.
Right. Okay.
I was getting active. I was nice all the way too.
So NBA Live was the first basketball game that allowed you to create players. Mm-hmm. And I swear, I'm looking at a lot of these guys, and I'm looking at guys on your team. I'm like, you know what? I created that player back then. He looked like that guy I created. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say this is that, like, everybody's record is not truly indicative of how good they are. Mm-hmm. It's based off of the players that were missing during that time. Yeah. And so I look at this season, and I think this title has the chance, or whoever wins this championship, I think it may be viewed lower than even a bubble title. Because, I think the protocol is getting diminished now. Guys aren't out 10 days minimum now. It's getting down to 5. Maybe this protocol goes away we get to playoffs and finals. But if this protocol is still in place, and if this pandemic still persists, it can make the league look bad. So what has it been like for you? How do you feel with, just way things have been going this season?
I agree with you to your point. Like the bubble, the reason why I feel like the fans won't view it the way we view it is because they think because of the environment, they're considering the environment. We were playing the basketball we play, like in the bubble. You know, obviously we were isolated, but the games had the players, you feel me? And we were playing, like we were competing in that bubble. And I thought for the most part, the bubble had good basketball. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why they would. I don't understand why they would say the Lakers championship wasn't valid because there was no fans. Like I don't understand that, but you know, it is what it is. On the other end, to your point, I agree that this season the results would be more skewed than the bubble season because we weren't missing anybody with COVID in the bubble, or last year. This year, it's to the point where it's like I don't like Chicago. Like everybody's had these runs where like they lost 8 players at once. The Lakers had their run. Chicago had and now we're going through ours right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we've lost a lot of games. Like we haven't won since we started getting guys with COVID. So it's like, and I feel like if we had our full team, we win some of these games that we've lost. But it is what it is. So it's like now we 13-22, and you can't. It just is what it is. It just happens to be that way. But it's going to be skewed, and I think it's tough because as players, you can be as responsible as you can be off the court to stay safe, and you're still getting it. Like I stay in the house all day. Like I don't go nowhere. I get everybody tested that comes to see me. But if I play a team and they have it, I'm at risk of getting it no matter what I do. So it's like it's one of those situations where it's just kind of like you can't really. It's not much you can do. You got to kind of go through it, the ups and downs, and handle it the best way you can. But I think what makes it even is that we're all going through it.
Yeah.
So it's not like only the East Coast teams or only like this team has it. Like every team is being affected by it. So like it's going to balance out. The Nets have had it. Golden State's went through it. Phoenix is going through it. Like, so it's going to be a point where it's like you can't really make an excuse because like last night, the Lakers whooped on us. We had a lot of guys out, but we did the same exact thing earlier this season to the Lakers at our house. So like it just balances out like that. They caught us on the downtime and we caught them on the downtime. So I think that's what's going to kind of make it, you know, fair is that we're all going through it. But it's definitely affected, you know, the teams and the records. And I don't think the records are indicative of, you know, the actual talent of teams, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And to your point, this variant, this new variant, it's not, the good thing is not, it doesn't look like it's sending people to the hospital. You know,
it's not as sickening. It's very contagious, though.
It's very contagious. And to your point, you remember I said take last year. It's funny. We went through like 2 or 3 variants already. But before, if you tested positive, most people probably viewed it as, you wouldn't be responsible. Well, somewhere along the way, you didn't have your mask on and you might have had a party or something like that. You can't say that with this one. Everybody's getting it. You're vaccinated or not. Now, if you are vaccinated, let me put this message out. If you are vaccinated, you have a better chance of not having any symptoms. You know, I'm a proponent of being vaccinated, but everybody can still get it. So it's not like, you know, I was doing, you know, I ain't gonna say that, but yeah, everybody has a chance to get it. And I've never, knock on wood, I've never tested positive throughout this whole thing. So hopefully it can stay like that. Yeah, man, I got it, man. Hopefully. So, you know, we'll see what happens, bro.
I had it bad going into my second year, and that was the OG COVID. So that took me down for a few hours out for a few weeks.
Was it taste? Did you lose your taste?
I had everything. I had every symptom except breathing issues. So taste, body aches, headache. I didn't really have a sore throat or runny nose, but I had like just body was hurting, night sweats, chills, like all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, initially, like, you know, people were saying the 10 days, like that's the minimum. Like if you really get sick, like if you were, it took me about, I was out for about 3 weeks to a month. Like it took me about a month to get back playing because I was just so sick. I had lost like 20 pounds. I was
Dang.
weak. I couldn't really run fast. It took me some time to get back to condition where I could play. And so, you got to. That's why I say to your point about the vaccine is like, if you can limit your symptoms as best as you can, and the vaccine gives you the best shot, I advise it because that was not a fun experience. I don't wish that on nobody. So,
no doubt. No, glad you better, bro. Glad you better. So I want to get you out of here with the last two, Nas. Tell me about your foundation. I understand you have a foundation that that caters to helping people, helping the youth pursue their dreams, whatever that is
right.
professionally. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I started my foundation. What caused me to have that idea was just, growing up, like it's tough. Extracurricular things are important. I feel like for all kids, all people. I think it's good to try to learn about music, art, visual arts, writing, athletics, and but a lot of that stuff costs money, and it's not cheap. My family, they growing up, it was tough for me to play AAU, with the fees and trying to pay for hotels and get basketball shoes and gear, all that type of stuff. Traveling, all that type of stuff was tough for me and my family, and that's a personal experience I went through. And a lot of my friends, a lot of people I knew, like they wanted to do stuff like science camp, or they wanted to play the instrument, but they couldn't afford to pay for their rental. Like it was a lot of stuff like that. And I felt like a lot of kids couldn't reach their potential or at least learn about the things that they were interested in and wanted to do because of, financial issues. And, basically the premise of my foundation is just to kind of help alleviate some of that stuff in places where I'm from. And just give kids a chance, to pursue something that they want to do, without things beyond their control be the reason why they can't do it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have the money to do so, like that's not something they can directly control in that moment. And, I would hate for that to be the only reason why a kid couldn't achieve their dreams. So that's why I made the Hold On to Your Dreams grant. Helps give kids an opportunity who struggling with money to kind of achieve things they want to. You know what I'm saying? If you're in art class and you want to buy the best new paint on the best new canvas, get the lessons you need to do, my grant helps you take care of that. If you need training, my grant takes care of that, all that type of stuff. So it's been really good, man. I've helped kids get scholarships to certain colleges just by being able to hone in on their craft. By helping kids travel to AU tournaments, to earning scholarships in basketball. So it's been great so far, man. And I'm looking forward to keep it going.
That's dope, bro. That's a real good gesture, man. Props to you coming up with that, man. Because we all know, man, we seen growing up, we didn't grow up with much. We didn't have those opportunities, those resources, and
Right.
you're behind the eight ball a lot of times when you don't have access to that. So that's
Right.
I'm glad you're doing that. So now I want to end on this note, man. So tell me your one, like everybody has that one moment in the league where they be like, damn, I got crossed up, I got dunked on, I got whatever.
Mhm.
What would you say throughout your 3 years playing, the one like embarrassing moment you've had on the court? Whether it was self-inflicted or whether it was somebody did something to you. Like what's the one, like if there's one low light that you've
Yeah.
had, one embarrassing moment, what would that be?
Mm. Most embarrassing moment. It's a couple. I don't want to say my first one. Like, I don't want to say the first one because the first time I ever was Drew Holiday had dunked on me, and it just caught me off guard.
Yeah, Drew don't duck much. So yeah,
Yeah, I was
that
like,
would catch you off guard. Yeah.
I was like, why you want to dunk on me? Like now you want to dunk, but I feel like the most embarrassing I felt was just like it wasn't one play, but it was throughout the course of a game where like we were playing Houston and like they were just literally not guarding me. And like I was just missing. And I was just like
Got you.
And it wasn't just one moment. I was like, damn, bro. Like
I know that
it's
tactic.
it's a bad feeling. Like you, like, you're just like you wide open, you pump faking, like you're just like, damn, like, I'm kind of weak, bro. Like it's not a good feeling, bro. Like you just and throughout the game, they're like literally not guarding me like at all, like, and I'm missing every time, like.
Yeah.
Not even inside, like not even missing good. Like I'm missing bad. Like that was probably like the most. I was like,
What year was that, Nas?
That was my rookie year.
Your rookie year?
My rookie year.
Listen, I swear. Look, Will Barton of Denver Nuggets. He was on my pod a few years ago. He had the same exact. This is when I was covering the Blazers, so I was there. I was there to see it live. Kobe Bryant was guarding Will, but he wasn't guarding him. So Will, when he first came in the league, he couldn't shoot. Will could not shoot. Kobe was guarding him from the free throw line.
That's how James Harden was guarding me.
So that's how I know Kobe's guarding him at the free throw line, and so Will is wide open at the three. He does not want to shoot. He's looking to still like try to keep the play going, but it's like the arena's like shoot, miss bad, shoot. It kept going on. And it's messing with your head because you like I said, you're a star. Like you guys are stars and you're right, because you had to be stars to get to this level.
Right.
So you probably never had anybody play you like that.
Yeah, so
you know what I'm saying?
It's all mental, bro. It's like, and then when you miss a couple, you just like,
man. And then Nas,
they start talking more.
Yeah, and then Nas, you're a role player. So if you're not making it, you're getting pulled.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You really just finished the game with 0. Like it's tough. Like you ain't, if you go 0 for 5, bro, you ain't gonna find out if you gonna go 5 for 10. You just 0 for 5 for the night. That's why we tell them like it's tough. Like if you 0 for 3, it's 0 for 3 for the night. You don't get to figure out. You don't get to, you might not get to figure out your rhythm.
Yeah, you can't shoot your way out of it. Yeah.
No, that's a tough moment for me.
And that's something that real hoopers like they know about. Like when you get those moments where somebody just back off you, if like, and you're in a situation where you just got to do the right thing. You got to come in the game and make a positive impact. But now you hear like what you taught when you open shoot. You're always taught that, but not when somebody is just like
really like. Like it's tough, man. Like it's like, and then you start missing, but you're so open that you keep getting the ball.
Yeah.
And you over 5, and you're like, do y'all want me to keep shooting? Like, do y'all really want me to keep shooting the ball? But to your point, like I had a conversation with Dame about that actually, and like I was just like, bro, like, what is your mentality, or like how do you handle, those tough games? Because that game really had me like. I was like, bro, obviously I knew how to get better, but that game I was like, bro, I got to get better. Like this, I can't be guarded like that. That's terrible. And if I am guarded like that, I got to hit one. Like this is crazy. And Dame, Dame started off the season, kind of slow. And what I respect about him is that like the stuff that he said, this year, he told me that same exact thing when he was playing the best basketball of his entire career.
Yeah.
So like, just to be that authentic, like, and that's how real it is like, he wasn't just saying that because he wasn't playing, his best brand. Like he was hurt. He was trying to fight through it for the team. He wasn't just saying that as like a cop out. Like he was telling me that same exact thing when he was going for 50 for a whole month. So like, that's why, like,
for context, real quick, just let everybody know what are you exactly referring to? What Dame said?
In regards to about him, just basically about how when he was missing, how he don't let it affect him in regards to like acting different. Like just because he's missing, he gonna still come to the gym. When he comes to the gym regularly, he gonna still do his routine. He gonna still treat everybody like he wasn't coming in the gym with he wasn't coming into the gym with no attitude. He wasn't being weird towards anybody. He wasn't showing up later. Like he was doing the same stuff he had always done. He was staying consistent with what he had always been doing. You get what I'm saying? And that's how you know, like, he's here and he's succeeding for a reason. You get what I'm saying? Like, all that stuff that he was saying in the media about it, like, was real, bro. Like, wasn't no just, oh, I'm gonna just say this because I want to look good. Nah, like, bro, he was saying that on both sides of the spectrum, playing his best and going through his struggles. So, and I tell people all the time, that conversation I had with Dame, like, that changed my whole, like, he's like, bro, he was like, bro, I went 0 for 10 one game. Like, nobody talks about it. And, like, that's how I thought about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have bad games. You're going to have bad stretches. Like, you just got to keep going, bro. And once I kind of got that mentality, I was like, it's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
So, shouts out to him for that.
That's gems right there, man. That's dropping a pod. You a pod pro, man. This is no for real. This is a podcast, man. Like, it's not supposed. It was a conversation. You know what I mean? Talking hoop. So I appreciate you, bro. Like, coming doing this, man. It was late notice too. I wanted to get you on earlier because you've been the guy. Like I said, I follow. You know, my career started in Portland. I don't know if you know, but I started covering the Blazers my first 4 years in the league back in 2010. And so Portland has a, you know, I follow you guys. And so I know you are somebody who fans are always clamor about. You're the bright spot over there, and they want to see more of you. So I'm like, man, I gotta get my brother on the pod,
you,
man. So man, but nah, for real, best of luck to you, man, throughout the season, man. Keep doing. Best of health, you and your family. Happy New Year, brother. And you know, I'll try to get you on later down the season.
Yes, sir. Likewise, man. Appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate you. That is Nassir Little of the Portland Trail Blazers here on the Posted Up with Chris Haynes podcast here on Yahoo Sports. Hey, go check him out. Go look at him. He's a high flyer, intensity guy. You'll love watching him. He's a breath of fresh air on the court. So everybody, happy New Year. Hope you like the pod. I'll check y'all next week. Peace.